In 2008, Brandon Swanson was on the phone with his father when he said, "Oh shit," and the line went dead. Searchers covered hundreds of square miles, trained dogs, helicopters, divers in the Yellow Medicine River. They found his car, they found his keys, they found his wallet. They did not find him, and that is the problem. Brandon was 19 years old. A college student at Southwest Minnesota State University, from the small farm town of Lind in western Minnesota, a flat, open stretch of country where you can see a long way in daylight. By every account, he was steady, grounded, the kind of kid who calls home when something goes wrong. On the night of May 13, 2008, he drove to a party in Canby, about 25 miles from home. Around 2 a.m. on May 14th, he started the drive back. Somewhere on the dark county roads between Canby and Lind, his car went into a ditch. He did the right thing. He called his parents. His father, Brian, answered. Brandon said he needed a pickup and gave his location somewhere near Lind on a road he thought he recognized. Brian got in his car. Annette, Brandon's mother, stayed on the line to keep him talking. What followed was 47 minutes of Brandon walking. You could hear it: footsteps on gravel, then grass, the sound of someone moving through open country at 2 a.m. Brian drove slowly through the dark, calling out the window. Brandon said he could hear his father calling. He never appeared in the headlights. He told his father he could see lights in the distance. He said it looked like the glow of Lind. He kept walking toward it. Then mid-sentence, "Oh shit." The line went dead. Brian called back immediately. No answer. The search began at first light. By the end of the first week, more than 1,000 people had walked those fields. Search dogs were brought in. Helicopters swept the corridor. The Yellow Medicine River was treated as a priority. Divers went in. Banks were walked on both sides. Every stretch of accessible water was examined. They found his car on May 14th. It was in a ditch, but not near Lind. It was near Taunton, 8 miles from where Brandon said he was. The keys were inside. His wallet was inside. No sign of struggle. No blood, no broken glass. The land around the search area was flat, open farmland, no dense forest, no caves, no structures unaccounted for. In terrain where a person should be visible from a distance, Brandon Swanson was simply not there. The most logical explanation was the river. The Yellow Medicine runs directly through the search corridor. The theory: Brandon, disoriented in the dark, stepped off a bank and was pulled under. It would explain the sudden cutoff. It would explain the absence of tracks leading anywhere definitive. Rivers move and may snowmelt. A body could travel before settling. Law enforcement made the river their primary focus. They dragged it. They walked both banks. They used sonar equipment and returned in different seasons as water levels changed. It was the answer that fit the geography, the timeline, and the silence. But remember those 47 minutes of footsteps. Brandon's father could hear him walking the entire time, gravel then grass, a man moving with purpose across dry land. And here is the fact that quietly dismantles the river theory, the tower data. Brandon's phone was pinging cell towers throughout that call. The data placed him consistently northeast of where his car was found. Northeast is away from the Yellow Medicine, not toward it. Drowning victim's surface. Not always immediately. Water temperature, depth, and current all affect it, but the Yellow Medicine is not a large waterway. Bodies recovered from similar rivers in similar conditions are found within weeks. Months passed, then years, then a decade. The river gave back nothing. Here is the detail that makes the whole thing collapse. Brandon's car was 8 miles from where he believed it was. He thought he was near Lind. He wasn't. He was near Taunton, a different road, a different stretch of dark county landscape he may never have driven before. He was completely disoriented about his own location and had no idea. So when he told his father where to look, he was describing the wrong place entirely. Brian drove every road near Lind. Brandon was walking fields 8 miles away. They were never going to find each other. And then he said, "Oh shit," and he stopped. Brandon Swanson's case remains open. He was declared legally dead in 2010, 2 years after he disappeared. Minnesota passed Brandon's law that same year, a missing adult alert system modeled after the Amber Alert in direct response to his case. He has never been found. 47 minutes of footsteps. A phone call still going. And then nothing. What did he see?